We must have seen lots of people talking about Linux, and they often refer Linux as an operating system, but it's not. So what is Linux? So Linux by itself is just a kernel. Like we human beings have got a heart, and we don't call our heart uh, a human body. Likewise, even we can't call a kernel an operating system. So it's just one part, one crucial part of the operating system. So, however, Linux can be generally divided into three major components, which are the kernel, the environment, and the file structure. So these three components basically forms a very basic operating system, and let's see what they are. So the kernel, it's a core program that runs programs and manages hardware devices such as disks and peripherals. So if we have lots of components, hardware components inside our machine, so the kernel will be interacting with them and will manage them. So it does all the low level work and the crucial work. The environment, so basically environment provides us an interface, and it receives the commands from us, the users, and sends those commands to the kernel for execution. So let's say I'm typing a command and pressing enter, so that interface which was provided by the environment, and further it sends those commands to the kernel for execution, for processing, and finally the output. What about the file structure? So file structure basically organizes the way data is stored inside the storage device, such as a disk. So if we have a hard drive, we can have lots of directories, and lots of directories can further have lots of files inside them. So the way these files and directories are managed is done by the file structure. So just to recap, Linux is just a kernel and not an operating system by itself. If we call, if we have to call Linux an operating system, then we have to include GNU slash prior to Linux. So GNU refers to all the softwares which have GNU license, and together with Linux kernel, it forms an operating system. So if we are talking about the GNU softwares plus Linux, it's an operating system, while Linux itself is not. Thank you for watching the video.